Welcome back to another Outside the Box Reviews, Giant Monsters Monday. And today we're celebrating the return of the King of the Monsters by looking at the Bandai Creations Smash Strike Godzilla figure. This is a figure that I kind of already talked about briefly in a vlog post right after it had actually come out. It was probably almost a month ago at least. But with figures tied into new movies, I always like to hold off and wait and see the movie before I do the review. That way, if there's stuff in the movie that relates to the character or the action figure, whatever, I could talk about that a little bit as well. But having seen Godzilla, there's not really much that I learned that enhances this figure as far as a review aspect. All I can say is that I like this Godzilla a lot. So let's get right into this figure. So this is first and foremost a kid's toy. This is not meant to be an adult collectible figure, but it's not bad. We have some decent detail here on the face, a lot of wrinkles and scaly texture. You can kind of see this front part of the face is actually its own separate piece. Every edge on this figure, every possible sharp point on it is made of a rubberized plastic. And that's a little annoying, but probably something they did for kids because Godzilla has a lot of sharp edges, so let's not let them poke their eye out. But this top section is rubbery, and it's actually better detailed than the hard plastic that comes down for the rest of the body. Lower jaw is also rubberized. The teeth are done in the classic Bandai vinyl style where it's just a piece of black plastic with the teeth painted on. They're not too bad looking. He has his golden eyes in there looking very, very cool. I like the gold eyes on this Godzilla. The sculpt looks a little off though. His face looks a bit crooked from the front. It's kind of weird. Coming down, we have the only really large bit of color on the figure, a little tan coming down the center of him. But we have some more detail on there. We have the kind of gills on the side of his head there. His arms have a nice alligator scaly texture to him, and the rubberized lower forearms there. If we turn him around on his right side, he is full of bolt holes, and that really is ugly looking. This side was put towards the package. I didn't realize he was going to be this bad when I got him at the store, but yeah, it's pretty bad. It has all of his scales are kind of all one solid piece of rubber coming down his back. You get a little break in the middle here. Now these fins here are actually hard sculpted, which is a bit surprising. Maybe to work in with the gimmick. So is the rest in the lower section of his tail, and the tip of his tail is once again rubberized. He's got his big old Godzilla legs and those stupid looking club feet, which are also rubberized. For articulation, this figure has a jaw that's on a hinge, but it doesn't really like to stay up. Every so often I can get it to close and kind of stick. You almost have to push it up and in and it will kind of stay still, but it's not really meant for that. The arms will swivel at the shoulders. He will bend at the wrist, but once again, it's pretty limp. And his leg can move just ever so slightly forward and back at the hip. But then we have the action feature, the gimmick with this figure. Right back here, we have the little control joystick, a raised section on his tail, and through this we can move it side to side, and Godzilla will move side to side with it. Also, by pushing it in, his body will rock up and down. So basically you just get him, you have him in your buildings or whatever, and you could have him thrash all over the place. You could hit that button and he'll start kind of chomping and smashing his way. And I did a video right when I got the guy of him headbanging. So that mid-torso piece doesn't really count as an articulation point. You can't really do anything with it besides use the action feature. So overall, how do you rank a figure like this? I'm so used to doing figures that are either meant for kind of everybody or they're very much catered to the adult collector market. This definitely is not. This is a child's toy. This is something for a little kid. And all I can say is, in that fact, there is something actually kind of nostalgic about it in a weird way. Obviously, this isn't something I had as a kid. It reminds me a lot of the stupid Trendmasters Godzilla I have from the '98 movie, where you can move his arm and his tail thrashes all over the place. Which, coincidentally, there is another figure of this, the Tail Strike Godzilla, that will do pretty much just that. And I think if you have little kids, this would be something they could really enjoy. Make them some little cardboard buildings and just go up to them and have them smash around, knock everything over, and just make a mess like Godzilla does. The sculpt is meh. The paint is honestly not that bad, considering even the NECA figure has this pretty same bland paint job. And the action feature ultimately is what kind of makes the tipping point, and it's actually fairly satisfying. I picked this figure up because he's in scale with pretty much all my other Godzilla figures. He's in around that 6 to 7 inch range where he'll fit alongside my Bandai Creation, Bandai Japan, SH Monster Arts. He'd work okay there. My thought process was, if this movie totally blew like the 98 Godzilla, that this could be my representation of the character from that movie. If the movie's good, which I really did enjoy it, I could go now and pick up the NECA and SH Monster Arts versions and have better representations, better articulated representations in my collection. But in some weird way, because of the fun I had with this stupid thing, it's going to get the cult classic status. It's nothing strong. It's obviously, you gotta know who you're buying it for and what you're gonna enjoy out of it. If you know that a stupid little gimmicky kid's toy isn't gonna put a smile on your face no matter what it is, then leave it alone. But this made me smile, so that's why I'm giving it the ranking I'm giving it. Make sure you check me out on Instagram, username Outside the Box Reviews. Also check me out on Facebook, link below. And until next time, it's been our Outside the Box Reviews, Giant Monster Monday. Sayonara.